Hey guys, welcome back to Jack on Tracks and another episode of the Freemo build. We're doing the siding. Okay, so to make this a decent looking curve, this is basically where I have everything going. This is about 2.5 inches off. I could have did more, but that would have put this out further and I would have started squaring up here, which is not working. I got a little bit of runoff straight area to this part of the track here, which is what I wanted when I needed, because I want it to be as straight as possible. And this just seems to be doing what I need to do. Though it looks a little winky, probably is. But the lead off, this comes in nice little curve in here, straightens up. There's enough room in here. There's enough distance in there that I can put this ramp here and a flat car and still have room for passing trains. So that's all that matters. And I can adjust it a little bit too. Not a big deal. Could put it down here if I wanted to. The big problem comes on this side with the other structures. We'll figure that out later on. So yeah, I did some of this on camera, and the video just the video and audio just weren't good. So basically what I did was I connected it here. It's not soldered in. I just got these as tight as I can get, pushing them back. I measured, I saw where I had to put this over here, and I got this in place. All right, this is as close to over the center line as it's going to get. I put tape on it to keep it tight because it was giving me a little bit of a headache. So I got that in. And this section is definitely getting nailed down when it happens. This is going to get spiked in place. Yeah. So, like, basically, what's going to happen over here is we're gonna come down. We're going to level this out so it's a nice even incline. We'll figure that out later. That's not a big deal. You've seen it done before, so we're just going to do it again. Yeah. Basically, I got this section over here level with all the ties, so it's going to go straight. I got a little bit of a kink up here for some reason. I don't know. It's a little bit of a bow right here. So let me fix this. There we go. A little better. I don't know why. But just looks a little off here. So I'll leave this out, get that in place. So the spike holes that are in these ties, like every 10 ties, that's what I'm using to put these pins through, and it's working pretty good. I'm gonna make sure that this part stays as straight as possible too. I want to make sure I got that like a good clean solder on there, and that's what we're gonna do now. We're gonna drop some solder on it. Yeah, that's nice and straight. So I drew this in over here. I'm not worried about that just yet because we'll figure that out once this is in place. When this is soldered in place, not actually tacked in place, then we'll figure out what we're going to do. All right, guys, let me set up the soldering station over here and we'll solder this in. All right, guys, so we're back. I got this lined up. It's all straight. I had a different solder around. I don't know where it went, but I got this stuff from Chip Quick. This is really good stuff. If you're just getting into doing soldering and stuff like that, just buy the chip quick stuff. I'll post a list of the stuff I have, and I'll do a video on soldering probably sometime in the near future. So all right, so I got this the chip quick. It's a liquid flux. I've been digging this stuff a little bit more and more, especially for this. It just gets underneath the ties. I want to pull it across, and it's just a little bit. I mean, you can load up on it. It's not a big deal. You'll see it'll evaporate. As soon as you hit it with the heat, it just steams up. But it's kind of what we're doing with it. We're using it just to, I want to get the flux underneath. The paste, you can do it with the paste, but I just want to make sure I'm getting it under there. And this is definitely good. It's still heating up. All right, guys, give me another second, wait for this to heat up, and then we'll come back and we'll solder this in place. Okay, guys, I got my, this is my tip tinning stuff. It's actually cool to have it because these tips, as you can see, they get dirty. You give them a good cleaning. You kind of take a lot of that tinning off, and you just take this bad boy, just shove it in there. Let it sink in a little bit. I go deep with it. This stuff stinks though. All right, definitely got an ammonia smell to it. Yeah, a nice re-tinned tip, clean. Give it a little. I want to get the excess off and any of the tinning residue off the tip. See it's steaming up under there. I probably should have tinned these PC ties before I did this, but I didn't. As you can see, the heat's pulling through. All right, that's nice. That's a nicey nice. That's one of the hot rail though. All right, so we get this going over here. See it melting in there? That's what you want. Have a dirty tip, it doesn't help distribute the heat either, so you want to keep that tip clean. All right, so that's nice and soldered down. So now what I want to do is double check this, because this one's a little tight and that one is just a little tight. So I want to make sure this one's not tight. I'm going to do my best to make sure this one's not that tight, over tight. I'm going to come back and fix those later. Not that really big of a deal to do. All right, so this one's taking a little extra heat for some reason, but there is the possibility that this weller's going dead as well. All right, and that's that. We'll get some pictures of that for you guys so you can see what it looks like. It's a little far, but yeah, it's I mean, soldering it where it is, I had to do it because of this. I mean, this one I could have soldered out of place, but it was a straight line, so it wasn't that bad. You know, this one we did on the bench, I believe, and you know, these are all pretty good. So I'm gonna let this cool down, and then the next thing we got to figure out is the track over there. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to figure that out next. All right, guys, here we are back at it. I put in about a 18-inch section of track right here, and we're going to solder these joints together. I made sure this time that my flexi rail was on the bout side on both ones. So we're good. So I should have enough movement in here. Now I can just pop some ties off. It's not a big deal. But I believe I got everything squared up the way it needs to be, and we're gonna get these ties together. I want this joint super tight. Get it on both sides, and if it starts taking solder on the other side, it means it's sucking it up in there really good. And that's what I want. I want it in there and nice and tight. There it is. That's a joined rail right there. So I did the offset. I don't know why. A couple of guys say that you should do the offset, so I just did the offset. I did the offset on a couple of these. This one I didn't. This one I did. I don't know. So this one's got the offset in it. This one's just straight at the edge because it butted up against the switch, and I wasn't cutting the switch. So and same thing here. This is straight to the switch, and then there's a little offset over here. I don't know. They say it matters. I don't know if it matters. I doubt it matters in 4 feet. But we got that in. So that's nice and in there, right? So now should be able to just take this and come over here. Bend that to my will. Something like that. So let me pin. Let me figure out where I want to put my pins over here, and then we'll go from there. All right, so that's as close as I got with it. So do a little filing, and then we'll get them in place. Okay, guys. So we pretty much have the siding set in place. We have it pretty much where it's going to go. It's at the proper length, it looks like. Maybe just a tad on the short side, but I think we can. That's fine. With not talking much at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and probably going to solder this end in place. I'm going to cut out a tie here, and I'm probably going to cut a tie. I'm probably going to cut a tie maybe here. So actually, man, I'm probably going to put a tie back here. Yeah, I'm going to put a tie back here, and then I'm going to do another tie here. So what that does is that lines me up with these connectors, so I'm not running wire all over God's green earth. And That's giving me a little bit better cohesion with everything. Now reach back to there. All right, so we got everything figured out. Drop up front. Did I do a drop on this side? No, I didn't do a drop on this side. I did do a drop on this side. These two right here. It's going to come over here. All right, so we're going to do that, and then we'll figure it out. So I'm going to take this over. I'm not going to solder these in. I'm not going to solder these drops in till the very end because I want to get everything pretty much glued in place and situated where it needs to be, and then come back in here and straighten everything else out. That kind of gives me a reference for this ruler. All right, so we're soldered in here. That butt's tight. Kill the soldering iron. We're pretty much lined up where we gotta be lined up. This is gonna be where it's gotta be. And I gotta put two ends on there to slide them into place. Riding thing is what's really expensive, these little joiners. They ain't cheap. All right. All right, here we go. The nice thing about this DAP stuff is it's paintable. It actually takes paint really good, really well. So it doesn't, being a silicone doesn't seem to affect it. We may put a little too much on that side. I'll just bring it over in the side. All right. The old DeWalt counterweight. There it goes. All right, guys, we'll let this dry up, and then we'll come back and take a look at it, and then probably got to shim up. Gonna have to do a little shimming to level this out a little bit on this side too, but that should be it. And then this is nice tight over here, and we'll come in and solder those in. We'll drop in these two ties that power drops. Then you get dropped in. We'll drop those in, wire them up, and we'll be done with track work. Whoo! I didn't think that was possible. Well, for these two modules, then we got to do the center section. So that's right, guys. Hang tight. We'll be back. Hey guys, welcome back. And it's about 24 hours later. So remove the DeWalt weight, and now we're going to remove these metal weights. All right, so This is actually looking pretty good. Pop these pins out. I don't need them in place anymore. Go hold this one straight. This looks pretty good. I know this kind of looks short, but remember there's going to be another 4-foot section in between this. So let's see what we got. Oh, we got glued down. That's what we got. All right, so we got that. All right, guys, so yeah, we got this is all glued in place. We can pick these pins out. I know this looks a little bit short, but it's really only got to be long enough for that car to go there and leave enough room on the side. So it could be anywhere over here. It's not a big deal. There's another 4-foot section that's going to go in here, so that's not really an issue either. Yeah, it's really, I mean, it'd be a little tight if I want to run this. If I just take 2 of these modules to a show, it's going to be a little tight, but it is what it is. I couldn't move that switch down further that way because I have the road there, and I didn't want the points to be in the middle of the road. I wanted a little bit more room between them, so it's fine. Something we can work with. You know, all right, so these are all cleared up. All right, so clear this. So I got this hopper. It's, I didn't want to cause off my from the back shop that's going in for maintenance. Be it that's missing one coupler. So there's a little bit of twist over here. So we're gonna figure that out. I'm thinking basically once I get I can probably throw a little shim under here, some paper, some cardboard. Shim it up a little bit, and then that'll fix it somewhat. Yep, that fixes that. This side. That side came out. So put a little shim in there. Keeps it flat. So that's what we're going to do over there. We'll get to that in a second. All right. So basically what's left is I got to put the 2 power drops in here and here. This lines up with those 3. This one lines up with that one. And those over here are actually, I dropped those through the rail joiners. Why did I do that? Because it just made some more sense to me to do it that way. So we got that. This is actually where the rail is joint anyway. So we have a power drop there. Got a power drop on that end. I got to put a power drop. Oh no, I got power drop here. There's power here at this joint. So we got power everywhere. These have to get soldered. Or did I solder? I'm not remember if I soldered them or not. I think those got soldered. No, I didn't solder those. So I got to solder these 2 ends. This end is soldered. This end needs to get soldered in place. There's a little bit of gap here, but what I'll do is I'll try to fill this open. I'll try to fill it up with a little solder in there, and then we'll smooth it out. This right here is perfect. We got to cut this, but I'm not cutting that until the very, very end. So yeah, let's go about getting this done here. So I'm glad I ordered more of these. So figure that out. We'll get that in there. Clean these up. The only issue I'm having with these is that they're slightly wider than American, well, at least the Walters track, just a tiny bit. So it made these a little interesting to line up, but we got them lined up. They're pretty equal. That's all really matters. Wire brush, file. Ooh, look at that. Cleans it right out. Now, if you had to, you could just simply, you know, solder to the track. But I got these, and I want to use them because they look nice. All right, so I got to put in 2 holes so I can drop in some power, some leads. Every drill I have, the chuck on the drill stinks. That's that one. This one over here is a little bit on the tricky side because it's glued in. Yeah, this one's gonna be a little tricky to get in because I'm actually gonna have to push the friggin' ends. I have to push the ends up from the bottom into this one because this is glued down. This one I should be able to. I'm probably gonna do the same thing on this one, but we'll figure it out. Hey guys, welcome back. I don't know what happened. Either I didn't hit record or I ran out of space on the phone. I'm not 100% sure yet, but I soldered these in. Both these connectors are in. Power's dropped down. I soldered all the ends are all soldered in. This end soldered in, that's soldered in, that's soldered. Everything's soldered up tight. This is all solid. All right. The only thing left to do is I'm going to spike all these center sections because I don't want these to move. All right. So these are micro-engineering mediums, and these are micro-engineering large. Did I have the smalls? I don't remember if I had smalls. No, I don't have the smalls. No smalls. So it is what it is. All right. So I just got to double check. I'm pretty sure it's these mediums that fit in here. Yeah, mediums seem good, but I'm just going to check real quick because sometimes these larges are really for O gauge. Nope, they don't fit in the hole. So I'm not drilling the holes out, and that's all it's going to be. So we're going to take these, and we're just going to spike them in. I mean, these are getting spiked in the cork, but it's the thought that counts. Oh, these are actually going to bite into the wood, it looks like, a little bit. So, all right, we'll press those into place. I think either Atlas or Walters makes a set of these spikes. They're longer, but I don't know. Not really sure about that. I never really spiked rails before because I didn't really hand lay track, so never really had to do it. And yeah, this is actually going in really quick because it's sitting, it's going into in the end grain of the ply, so it's actually just going straight in with really no real effort. So I'm hoping that's good enough. I'm hoping with the glue in that, just make sure it's like a little extra something. Those are in there. And as you saw me do with the other ones, I'm gonna do with this one. Well, let's see how I did. Yep, look at that. No problem. Right open right up. Pretty good amount of gap in there. So I'm going to build a transport rack for all three of these modules. It's going to be heavy as balls. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to mount the plate onto the end of these two outer ones. These two are going to face in. The center one's going to sit in the middle, facing whichever direction it needs to face. And there'll be a back plate on this side. It'll use the holes that are in here to clamp that down. Same with that. And then I'll notch out the wood for these pieces so they don't get picked on or kicked up at all. The same is going to go for those ends as well, and for the third piece in the middle when that gets done. It's all going to be in there. That'll be probably the last chapter. Actually, no, not going to be the last chapter. That's going to happen well before. It's going to happen well before these things start to get scenic. Because once I get this up, and I'm going to start scenicking it. I just want to get it done. So we're going to probably do that shortly, maybe 4 or 5 videos away. I know, right? 4 or 5. Yeah. But it's taking a little while. But yep, that's basically. I'm gonna call this a wrap for this video. Yeah. So a little recap of what we did. We laid in the siding. We figured out how we were gonna get the siding in. We were gonna do it. Did a little fugazi math and little wishing and hoping and praying. And maybe we got everything here that we need to have here and in the right direction, an angle and a dangle. But, you know, worst comes to worst, I got to put these two back here, you know, on here, or I can move this a little bit forward. We're going to do the magnets in here, the same we did in the Hot Tracks module and in the End Tracks module. It just makes setting up at shows easier. Guys can't, you know, if someone wants to help you, just drop it in place. It figures itself out. You know, and, you know, worst comes to worst, if I only got to do these 2 switches, you know, these 2 modules, I got it. We got it, right? Tracks, you know, trains going everywhere. So we're good. All right. Yeah. Once again, guys, I do appreciate you guys watching this stuff and putting up my shenanigans. I do appreciate getting a lot of likes, getting some comments. Guys are looking back at old videos and commenting on them. I try to respond to everything within a week or so. Sometimes they just miss, but I will get back to you. Let me know if you watch this far in the video. Let me know if you guys want to do like a workbench Wednesday where I'll live stream and do like either a decoder install or maybe start building a model, like put a kit together or something like that. So yeah, once again, thanks for watching, guys. Like and subscribe, and as always, I'll catch you later.